I do have quarantine poems. This is called Amer- American Steel. Silver syringe seeks sweet spot in that crook where your naked shoulder and sleek neck come together and scream for a warm and wet slickening of salivatory supplication cream and salvation right after the shudder, a new kind of prayer, a new kind of immunity. And then this one is one that appeared in Dispatches from Quarantine, as Alexander was just talking about. This is called In the Sanatorium. In the sanatorium, everything is made out of lies. I mean, everything. The sheets, the wallpaper, the counters, the desks, the wall clocks, the beds, the trays, the vital monitors, the ventilators, the food, the clothing, the floors. All the words on all the forms and brochures, all the words that come out of the mouths of the doctors and attendants and administrators, and yes, even the patients. No one lies more than the patients. Even the devices that manufacture the lies are made out of lies. In here, lies make up the fabric of reality, so that in the sanatorium, the truth is a hidden and mysterious thing, so rare and precious that it is the most beautiful and dangerous thing anyone can imagine possessing. Even as I write this, the Axis and the Allies, the Nazis and the Socialists, yes, even the Union and the Confederacy, are in a desperate race against each other and the clock, not only to possess this truth, but more critically, to prove to the rest of the world that they really do possess this truth. So rest assured, we are going to be here for a while. Just two more short poems. This poem is entitled To the Older Bosnian Man in a Velour Tracksuit Smoking a Cigarette Beneath Hooded Eyes in Front of the Surfside Palms apartment complex this afternoon. I swear to God, I wasn't staring at you. And that poem is dedicated to Joel Landmine. And I will conclude with this poem called Easy Bake Apocalypse. A hard crack rings out to my right. A very large Corvid 19 sits there glaring at me. They have broken a thick branch off a beach bramble near the top of a small dune and hold it in their beak. 72 inches between us, we stare each other down for a hard few moments, and then they lift off into the stiff bay breeze, a long, curved overhead arc that makes me nervous enough to flip my Dubs hoodie up. I think about how I had been set up for my first successful April poetry challenge. 30 poems to be written in 30 days. It was coming in a preset pandemic mode. There's no way I wouldn't nail it. But once more, I will settle for something less, something clumsy and awkward, but perhaps no less wrenching in this soon-to-be romantic age. The days we were always talking about how to begin social encroachment, how to violate boundaries, to get themselves a bigger stick. The days we have always talked about sift through our fingers and minds, a distant echo of a giddy laugh that was once nearby. This is all gentler and softer than it has a right to be. The days we always talk about flapping about our crowns and ears, and we wonder where our hats and hoodies went. The days we always talk about have been replaced by talk of newer days to come. My favorite elephants get up off the couch and step up to the plate, only to lay their bats down and shuffle off mumbling these newer days are cobbled together with the more ephemeral sand than we have ever sunk our fingers and toes and heads into before. Mudflats and kites litter the quarantined beachfront, and yet children joyously skipping and sprinting from muddy sandbar to muddy sandbar at low tide, like a swarm of miniature pioneers staking out little homesteads on a large lakefront. Not unlike the way any beach looks right before a tsunami ripples through. These days are the good old days. I think the challah is stale enough now. Let's make French toast for dinner. Thank you, everyone.